I'm Ford Sellers. I am traveling the country, going to schools and universities all across this great nation, talking about lights and lighting technology. Our first stop is Ithaca, New York.
On this episode of Theatre Roadtrip, after enjoying some more of Ithaca in the fall, I had the opportunity to sit down with the student lighting designer and the student production electrician for Ithaca College's first main stage production of the season, a version of Thornton Wilder's Our Town, produced in the round.
Join me on this journey of Theatre Roadtrip. Ithaca College Edition.
My name is Brady Fiscus. I am a junior theater production and design major here at Ithaca College, and I am the lighting designer on our upcoming production of Our Town.
Hi, my name is Nico. I am the current production electrician for Ithaca College's production of Our Town.
How many shows have you worked on here?
So this is now my 5th show at Ithaca, but this is my first design, which has been really exciting.
At least 12. I work on 2 shows a semester minimum. I keep myself busy.
Very cool. Tell me about your process with Our Town.
I think one of the most interesting parts of the process, so we design all of our shows the semester before. So I actually found out I was doing this and first read it back in like January, and then across last semester we had 6 official design meetings and then lots of interim meetings with the director, with other designers to try and like really get to our vision so that right when we came back from summer break, we could just launch in with building it and getting everything ready.
I found out that I was working on the production in late July, early August, but I didn't get hands on anything until the semester started. And the first couple of things that I was just working in were making sure that it was possible and making sure that we had the inventory for it, which at first it wasn't possible. Brady's plot was about double what it is now. He had a huge system going on the grid, and we actually didn't have enough lights in our stock in the entire building to make his design work. So there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of conversation about how to keep his design elements while keeping us in budget and inventory for the show. So myself and Devin, the lighting and sound supervisor, kind of sat down with Sarah, the lighting design mentor, and we talked with Sarah and Brady and basically said, this isn't possible. What elements do you need to keep? What is important to you about the design? And how do we continue fulfilling that without as many conventional fixtures as we did?
Originally, I had a full double hung system on all 4 sides for that color shift in the 3rd act. And then when we realized that wasn't going to be feasible from a time point of view and what we had in stock point of view, I started thinking about other options, and that's where I really did land on using a lot more of the equipment, the Chauvet equipment that we've been given this semester.
Brady made the brave decision to basically cut his grid in half and supplement with moving fixtures and moving heads.
Just because, in thinking of the show, I'm like, it's not flashy. I don't need all these moving heads. And then in looking at, okay, I have to cut 80 lights, and that was the entire cool front light system. I was like, well, that's how we're going to replace them. And so, so then getting more Mavericks and the Rogue Outcasts in there, we're really able to supplement that idea and actually have turned out so much better than I thought it would, because not only am I been playing with change of color, but also change of the look of the light, and that it is so much more intense, and ability for the beam to be really tight on these characters and to really separate them from the other parts of the world. That I don't think would have been possible with the original Source 436s I was using. The framing shutters were a really interesting idea. None of our other fixtures that we have here can do that, so it's just like last semester and thinking through design, that wasn't even an idea in my head. And then actually I've used them a lot more than I thought I would, and so much more happy with the product that we have now.
Did you have any trouble or any issues kind of mixing the additive color that comes from LED with the subtractive color that is in your moving heads and trying to get things to match and match tone?
It wasn't as big of a challenge as I was expecting, which was nice, and especially because most of the very saturated color comes in the 3rd act when there's the biggest tonal change, and I don't know if I should spoil it, but just a lot happens. And so that's where lighting really takes a shift from those warm, vibrant tones to much cooler and more flat lighting on all of the subjects.
I think any production in the round is always a big challenge.
Yeah.
How did that design process work?
A lot of it did derive because we're in the round, and there's, in theory, that means anyone can go anywhere. I think a lot of it did kind of start clicking into place when the initial scenic design started coming together. So like looking at the floor treatment, seeing how all of those different circles are going to be played with staging wise, and then also looking at like the scenes on the roof, the scenes on the tree, how do they fit in compositionally with all of the action happening on the deck, and similarly to all the things hanging. And there's just, it kind of became clear that it wasn't, that ideas were going to need to go beyond the level of the stage and all around the theater. And so then trying to find like unifying ways to make those ideas still feel coherent, even though they're far apart from each other and spread all around.
What kind of challenges then did you run into?
Yeah. Honestly, some of the biggest challenges I hit in the show were with the practicals, and it's turned out still surprisingly well. We had all but 2 of the practicals working before we hit first tech, and all of the practicals were working before preview, so I'm calling that one a huge win.
What has been the most fun on this production?
I think what's been the most fun is just seeing all of it, because like starting the design process back in January, you forget a lot of, by the time you're making the plot and having all this paperwork due and you have to think about cabling and everything, you're forgetting why you had these ideas in the first place as a designer. The show as a whole, and looking at how these ideas work with one another, with the other design departments, and with the performers as well, has been really rewarding.
On the next episode of Theatre Roadtrip, we'll be sitting down with a few more Ithaca College students to hear about their experiences with production at Ithaca and where they see themselves going in the future.